Well, welcome. Here we go. Let's try this. If you read any descriptions coming into this, let's see, I should start my timer here too. Um, I'm preparing for my LinkedIn Live that I'm doing on the 25th, I believe. It's a week from Tuesday. And I realized that in order to prepare for something, you got to practice it. It's not as easy as it looks. So that's indeed what I'm doing. So this is going to be my LinkedIn Live. The discussion today, we're going to do a deep dive into why I believe our digital business cards can really help you get business. We're going to use this, we're going to show you this tool in depth to some degree anyway, so that you can get a better sense of really why it's different than anything that's out there. But again, we're also just kind of getting used to this platform, trying to see interact with people should they come on, and I might be doing this like over and over again before the 25th. So this will be a fun experiment, at least for myself. So let me start by saying my name is Gabe O'Neill. Many know me as the godfather of the digital business card. And it's kind of a fun moniker that I've accrued over time, but it's something that I'm really excited about because after having tripped over this technology and what I built a while ago, it's really been something that's been dear to my heart because everything I've ever wanted to do would be to produce value to people, and it is doing that in spades. So let me just start by saying that, and I put this next to my QR code on my screen. It really is a stunning product, and it really does produce astonishing results. That's probably the best way I can describe it. When people see it for the first time, regardless of whether or not it's my personal card or one of my clients, their typical reaction is, "Oh wow! I mean, I've never seen anything like this," and that's exactly what we're looking for. And the astonishing results is the fact that it's not just a link to all your Wikipedia. It actually is a system that helps you get business, and I'm going to go into that in a little bit. So let me talk first about my story and how I got started. And if anybody looks, try that again. If anybody watches this, whether it be now or later, and they have any comments, good or bad, I'm more than willing to listen. I was I've got a funny story. I did a bunch of videos on my website, and and so there was a bunch of them, and some of them were longer, and so whoever was watching them had to get a lot of me. And I think the comment was, "You need to up your game." In other words, you need to put more energy in it. So, oh, great! So now I got to redo all those videos. But it's true. It's true. I saw something yesterday from somebody that I know, um, who was similar to me in demeanor, and it was an hour of that. And I agree. I need to up my game. So I'm trying to do that. And so let me know if I'm doing that or if I'm not, or if I need to do it more or whatever. So anyway, I'm having fun all by myself here. Um, so let me talk about my story and how I got started. So in 2015, we moved from Maryland to Georgia, to the Atlanta suburbs. It's a long story. I'm not going to go into that, but it's something that we knew nobody. I knew one person from Twitter, and that's how we got down here. And so we knew nobody. And my plan was I came down here because of my daughter's charity, but my plan was to have my daughter's charity take off, and somehow I was going to get paid for that. That plan didn't really work out. So I needed to network, and I needed to get people to know me. I'm a software developer by trade. I do contract work. And so we came down here, and it took about a year for me to get a good base of people, and I finally started getting work, and okay, so we made it through that gauntlet. And so A couple of years after that, we had to move again, and we moved an hour away from where we were before, which meant I had to start this process all over again with my networking. When that happened, I was like, okay, well, my contract's running out. I really can't wait another year for me to get more business. So let me see how I can expedite this process. So what I did was excuse me, what I did was I just decided to give something away to people. I came up with this idea. Well, how can I expedite it? Well, what if I gave away something? I don't know, maybe a digital business card or something like that, where I work a set number of hours on something that I customize to it for this person and ask for nothing in return. And in the meantime, they'll get to see my work ethic, my skill, my talent, my creativity. They'll say, "Oh man, you gotta see this. This is great. You gotta get Gabe. He's a great guy and all that." That was the whole idea. So, I decided to do that. So in doing that, I went down to my first networking event, which was down the street at a barbecue restaurant of all places at 8:30 in the morning, and stood up and said, "If anybody wants a free digital business card, see me after." So instead of having that awkward silence where people are all milling about after at the end where they know each other, they're always yapping at each other, and everybody's ignoring you. They were actually lining up to get one from me. And I thought, wow, this is working better than I thought. So that's how it started. This was in November of 2018, and from there, we started building these digital cards for people. Well, there ended up to be a bunch of them, so we put them on one page, and so we could send people to the page and say, well, you can use the business from any of these people, and that's how. And we would go each one of us when we wanted to refer each other out, we'd go to that page and find the person and send that card out to somebody else, and that's how it started. And so it was fairly. I mean, compared to what we do now, it was fairly plain and simple, which you kind of expect. But over the years, we've gotten a lot of feedback, and we've gotten a lot of suggestions, and I've got a lot of my real benefit is that I've got marketing savvy and technical skill. I'm in the same boat as everybody else trying to get business. So when I what I do is I if I trying to get this out here, what I do is I'm in the same boat as everybody else. So if I see a feature that needs to be done, I just do it. And if I think, well, this might attract more business, I'll go build it. And so that's kind of how it started. So we started with that, and we got, let's see, video. We added video to it. We added audio to it. We added texting. When we added texting, that was really the game changer, because texting is the number one way of, the most effective way of contacting people. Um, and then it just went on from there. I just added all kinds of new things as we went along. So again, that was in 2018. So it was funny because it was a lot of people were using them. They were loving them. It's great. And I thought, well, yeah, people like them, but nobody's gonna really buy them. Nobody's gonna want them to pay for them, right? So some of my clients were showing up to their colleagues in mortgage department, for example, or real estate, and they said, "Well, we want one of those too." And I said, "Well, they don't even network with us, and I'll never even see them personally, so I got to charge them." So I charged them like $100, whatever it was. And I thought, well, okay, so maybe it'll be a little side hustle every once in a while. Somebody will buy one. And so if you're noticing what's happening here is I'm putting a glass ceiling above right over top of me. So I'm not going to do anything with these cards. And I remember even saying to one person, he asked me what I did. I said, well, I create these digital business cards. But they don't really pay for very much. I mean, it was the worst description I've ever heard anybody pitching their product. And and the guy goes, he looked at me and he said, "That doesn't sound like a very good business." So, and I'll never forget that because he was absolutely right the way I described it because I had this ceiling that I had put right above myself. So that's the first lesson that I'm giving you today is if you think you've got a ceiling like that, get rid of it. So, anyway, so once I said, wait a minute, if I sold these digital cards to like a real estate company, and maybe the whole team used it, or a group of sales manager and a group of and their sales team used it, that could be that could translate into a lot more than what I'm thinking. So all of a sudden, I just pulled this ceiling away, looked up, and from then on, it really started to skyrocket. So that's again my lesson for any entrepreneur out there who thinks that what they're doing is really not going to work, or if self-limiting beliefs are the thing that will kill your business in the beginning. So that's just a little bonus. So that's again, but that's how we got started. And then at some point, when like a year later, and I became known as the guy who had the digital business cards, and somebody yelled out, "Yes, he's the Godfather," and if somebody else said, "Yeah, you're the Godfather of the digital business card." And at first, I said, "Well, that's not a very good connection to have, right?" I mean, when if you think about it literally, what that movie represents, and but no, when everybody thinks of The Godfather, they don't think about that. They just think about they somehow have a pleasant association with that movie, even though how violent it is. So, and then I kind of leaned into it for a little bit, and then people loved it. So that's how I became the Godfather of the digital business card. So, what's the thing that leave the gun, grab the cannolis, and your digital business card. That's kind of what I was going with for a while. So that's kind of brings us up to in 2019 we started selling them, and then as we started selling them, we started again being the developer and always wanting to innovate. What I've always believed in software is that you don't just develop things just to change things around like Microsoft does. Like, okay, I've got a insert design, layout, references, mailings. I've got all these menu items, right? And then a year from now they'll say, well, let's do it. Let's do layout, design, reference. Let's change it up because it for whatever reason. So in other words, they're providing a lot of the same services, but not the same way at all that they used to. That drives me absolutely crazy. Just changing things for the sake of changing it, for the sake of making money. That doesn't work for me. So, but if you can change something and add value to it, where you can add a feature that really adds value to it, and not just a spinny blue thing that, oh, look at that shiny thing that it not nothing like that. If you can add value to something, then that's really something that will really work for you. Anyway, getting distracted here. Um, so that's what I've been doing. I've been adding value all along, and we, as I said, we added video, we added text, we added something called the animated sequences. Recently, we've got the ability to text back. But anyway, I'll get into that a little bit more. But um, but really, what does our digital card do, and why is it different from anything else out there? Well, that was the thing. So I looked at other digital business cards, and nothing against them. That their design really isn't to get you more business. Because if you've had one before, many of you who've had one have deserted it because it didn't really do anything for you. And if you use something like Linktree, all you're trying to do is, well, here's my Wikipedia, everything you know about me. Here's there's a button on there that has the directions to my third cousin's gender reveal party. People don't care about stuff like that. People don't care about all the things that you've accomplished and what you can do. They're not going to go to all those links. This is in my opinion. So the approach that I took was, let's do this differently. Let's create something that makes you memorable, that actually skyrockets your digital profile, and it's something that will actually generate business for you. That's really what the whole core of what we do is involved with. So and that's really exactly what we do. So that's when I get back to, when you look at our card, whether it be mine or anybody else in any of my clients, it's a stunning product. And the reason why we work so hard to make it look that way, they're all custom done. Every single one is custom done. And by having them be custom done, um, it makes it unique to each user. So, um, trying to sit up straight here. So, you know, and when somebody has when you get whatever it be, a digital card, anything that's in a cookie cuts type situation, you're going to get something. Maybe it's got your picture on it. Maybe it's even got your logo on it. That's not custom to you. That's just got your stuff on it that looks like everybody else's. Um, with ours, we truly customize each one. So, and by saying so, what we do is we get your logo, we get your headshot, we get your colors from your website, whatever it is that you want, whatever pictures that you want to put on there. I'll send them to my graphic artist and I'll give her no direction. I'll say, do it, you do your magic. And she will. She'll go and create something that's really fantastic. And when the person gets it, then they go, oh, wow, this is really phenomenal. And when they see that, they're anxious to share it more. When they're anxious to share it more, they're going to get more business from it, because they're so proud of it. When you're proud of something and you share it, you say, "Oh man, you got to see this. It's really cool." People are gonna that energy is gonna transfer between you and that other person, regardless if it's somebody that you know or you don't know. And that when that energy transfers and they see that you're proud of your digital card, that means you're proud of what you do. And if you're proud of what you do, that's also going to translate into more business. Because if this is something where you just slap something together, and you're in a job that you really hate, my guess is your digital card wouldn't make that much difference. So, but again, when you put it in a context where this is very, very different, where again it's a stunning product, people are going to remember that, and when they're going to remember that, they're going to remember you. And so, think about the impact that would have on you. Think about about how that would make you feel. How about how, having such a custom thing that's done for you, that you could share, that made you look like a technical rock star and a marketing rock star, even if you're not. You can be, or you don't have to be. I mean, again, that's the thing, that we put something together that makes you look like a rock star, and that's something I'm very proud of, honestly, because again, it's not. I don't want to just create. I've never been the one who wants to create, training CDs and have nobody ever listen to them, but the people buy them and thank you very much. I've got your money. That's not me. As a matter of fact, when people purchase a digital card, um, they um, when people purchase it, we're not done with you. We're always trying to continue to do work for you, to empower you, to help you learn. We just created a new LinkedIn group this week, just as an example. It's called the Accelerant Collective, and I welcome anybody to join it. You can search it, and I welcome anybody to join it. But what it is, it's a group on LinkedIn, in my mind, that the way groups should be, and I haven't found one like it yet. So the concept is, you join it. There's no spamming, no articles, none of the traditional quote unquote garbage that you see on a lot of the other groups. The idea is for people to share their knowledge in a post on LinkedIn, right? And like for example, I think I put something about what was my first one about? Um, Actually, you'll see it. It's pinned to the. Right. My first one was about the LinkedIn newsletter. If you don't know about the LinkedIn newsletter, go and look. Go look at the group. I'll let you in. You can read about it because it's a very powerful tool that many people don't know about. When I find powerful things like that, I like to share them. I don't like to just hoard them for myself. So, so by having people look at, oh, okay, this person gave of themselves, they gave something that's very valuable to me. That's pretty cool. I want to be connected to that person. I want to have a relationship with that person. And maybe I want to do business with that person. So that's the whole idea, is that as you cultivate true relationships, it's not going to happen overnight, but as you do it in the group overnight, the idea is that's how LinkedIn, I believe, is really designed to be, and it's most effective when you use it that way. So and by mentioning that group, again, this is something I just came up with like last week. So I'm always innovating, always trying to come up with new ways for my clients and other people, quite frankly, they don't have to be my clients, to get more business, because that's kind of how I'm driven. um so let me take another quick break here. Okay, so now what I'd like to talk about, okay, I'd like to dig in a little bit further and ask, what are the two main components of getting new business? And I think it's pretty common that everybody would agree that it's capturing leads and then converting into sales, right? Well, that's really where our product shines. Um, when you capture, it captures leads, because how do you, like, for example, how do you get my digital card? Well, if you haven't figured it out by now, the as you can see, the QR code that is right, no, there, yeah, there's a QR code. If you scan that QR code, it will generate the text necessary on your phone for you to get my card. So all you have to do is scan it. You just put your phone up to the QR code. Don't your phone camera. Don't take a picture of it. Just wait until it recognizes it, and it will flash up a link, and you click on the button that it will flash up. And if it doesn't do it, which I've experienced just once in the last year, then you must have an app to read, and then your phone doesn't support it. But that's 99% of the phones support it. And if you don't, if yours is one that doesn't, you'll have an app on there to scan it. But anyway, so once you scan that QR code and you hit send, you will get you'll get my card, and you'll get to see what I say is a stunning product. And at the same time, I will capture your cell phone information. And from the phone company, I can get your name. So, and that might be, oh, I don't want to give you my name. That's fine. You don't have to do it. And even if you do it, and you just to see it, all you have to do type in is four letters. When you get the text, when you get the text that's got my card in it, you use that same number and you type in STOP, and you'll get nothing else from me. But if you choose to stay connected with me, you'll get some, interesting things about events or stuff I've got coming up, or cool things. Again, if you haven't figured out by now, I like to share things of value, not just stuff selling my stuff, right? So you can go either way, but the bottom line is that's how we capture leads. Is that's one way that we capture it, and it's by text. And so that way, we have that person's information, and it's stored in a database. And I typically tell my customers who have the text back feature is that don't bug them more than like four times a month. Right? I mean, it's really, you really don't want to be hammered with spam text every day or even every week. So it's, well, every week, once a week is four times a month, I guess. I mean, that's not the worst thing in the world, right? So, but I would really, I really tell people against that. I think one of my clients went down to 2 a month, and so again, we're not about pestering people, but at the same time, this is a great tool to help you stay on top of mind of your customers through text, which is the most effective way of connecting with people. So, um, so that and taking that one step further, if you have the texting function, the option, you can go into the back end and you can and over time you'll accrue a bunch of customers who have opted into you, and you can send them messages weekly or whatever it is that talk about your specials, or you've got an event coming up, or you've got this or you've got that, just to say, hey, ping, remember Gabe O'Neill here, Gabe O'Neill here. So that's where we help with the conversion in that. So because a lot of times in the text back feature, when we text you through that, people will text that number back, and you can have conversations through that medium, and so it's another way of just staying connected with as many clients as or prospects as you can. So that's really another one of the things that's really powerful about what we do. Um, And I think I'm going to go with one more thing that's really critical about what makes us different, and then I'm going to wrap up. But um, imagine being able to get somebody on your schedule where you don't know who they are, and there's never been any LinkedIn automation to get to them, or nothing that you've ever generated. You've never lifted a finger to get this person on your schedule, but they're interested in your product. Now, how do you think that can be accomplished? Certainly can't be accomplished by any other digital cards that are out there. I can tell you that for sure. But it can be from ours. See, and how that's done is that we train our prospects in any time we do a networking event for 60 seconds or whatever that is. Um, we always tell people what our keyword is, and we always tell people what number to use to text to the keyword. So as you can see, it's right above my head. Text Gabe to 321 421 5213. So I mean, it's like, okay, 3453, and put a 21 after the first three numbers. 3453. You can't miss that. 321 421 5213. So by now you should already have it in your mind. See, I'm doing this on purpose. So if you remember that, hey, to get Gabe's information, all you have to do is tell other people to text Gabe to 321 421 5213. If you remember that. And if you're with somebody who has one of our cards in their BNI group or whatever networking group it is, you're going to end up remembering it. It's going to be in your head. And then that means you have an endless supply of their digital card that you can give out at any time. You can do that virtually. You can do that in person. You can do that anywhere. You don't have to have your phone. You can just tell them that. It's in your head. People genuinely want to be helpful to others. I think most people really want to help other people get business. Um, but but if somebody says, hey, I really need a plumber, or I need somebody to build my fence in the backyard. You see that on Nextdoor all the time. And you had a contractor that was really great, but you don't have no idea whether you know that maybe their business card is on the refrigerator downstairs. Who knows? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's in a pile of contractor business cards. You're not going to go. You don't have time to go look for it. So that person's going to be done, and you're not going to be able to refer that person out. But somebody said, "Hey, I'm looking for a way to really spice up my marketing, do something fresh, do something out of the box, and do something that my competition isn't doing." And oh, Gabe, Let me get. Yeah, all I have to do here it is. It's Gabe to 321-421-5213. That's how, and so what that's doing is that's empowering all my clients. They do the same thing. So you're getting referrals not only from you putting it out there, but you're getting it um, from everybody else putting it out there. So the more ways that you can do it, again, if you have the QR code, you have the QR code booked on your phone, bookmarked on your phone. You can be in a Chamber of Commerce event, just have them scan it. There's so many different ways to make it so easy for this card to get on their phone. And when it's on their phone, they can they can download it, or they can download your information right to their phone contacts. That's one thing that they can do. So you'll notice, I think I'm going to wrap up. Excuse me. You'll notice that for the half hour, I didn't even show you anything. And I'm not, I think in the future, I might do a different type of thing, but um, I kind of am happy with how my first half hour went. Wasn't as much of a dumpster fire as I thought it would be, despite my scratchy voice. Um, but um, But if you do want to learn more about it, if you actually got to this level, got to the end, if you would like to know more about it, as you can tell, I like talking about it, and I think you know how to. There's there. I think you know how to find me. Where? Ooh, there, there, and there, and there. Anyway, scan the QR code. Text Gabe to 321-421-5213. You'll see how stunning our product is. And when I say astonishing results, I'm talking about 1,200% ROI in the first 3 days. I'm talking about Preston, who got 492 leads in one afternoon when he was at a tech conference. I'm talking about Joel, who made $200,000 in his first year off of his card. So that's when I say stunning product, astonishing results. That's how that fits in. So if you'd like to learn more, my schedule is right on my card, and that's how you get to me. So that's it for me. So join us on our next practice session, whenever that should be, and I'll see you soon. But the official one will be on October 25th.